Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for another iteration of Great Albums, where I catch you up on a bunch of releases that I have loved or thought were really great. I don't want them to slip through the cracks on you. It's been a few months since I've done one of these because the trickle of albums that I have been in love with, it's been a little slow toward the end of this pandemic year, I will admit, but still there's been a lot of good stuff to make note of. So first off, I would like to shout out a bunch of EPs, a bunch of very good EPs that I have either reviewed or not reviewed, but I think they're all quite good regardless. There's a new one from Bring Me the Horizon, which brings back those new metal and classic alt metal vibes, which sound really great. Some awesome sound design on this project too, really some of their best stuff ever, and I am pretty excited for this sound they're pursuing with their latest work. Loving the new EP from Slauson Malone as well. Totally new vibe for him, but kind of sticking to still that very strange and abstract delivery that his production is just known for. There's a new one from James Blake as well, handful of new cuts where he's trying out some new stuff. Really good material there. Excited to see how that's going to pan out into some future releases. Loving the new EP from Backwash, which came out a while ago. Some harsh and heavy metal guitars on this one. Banging hooks. It's dark and brooding as fuck. Just loving her material as of late. I know I didn't review this one when I should have, but I don't want to go for the rest of the year without at least just kind of reminding everyone that it is a great release and it will most likely end up on my best EPs of the year. Loving the new Zeal and Ardor as well. Really liking the return on this one and how the tracks are reflecting on the current unrest going on politically in relation to just systemic violence and police brutality. It's quite heavy emotionally and sonically. Really good stuff on this one. And then finally, I want to give a shout out to Tkay Maidza's latest Last Year Was Weird volume, where it's just one banger after another. The production, the songs, everything on this EP is stellar, and it's so packed with heat it almost just feels like an album. It's so good and robust and amazing, and I'm just hoping that I don't know, her new record, when she does come through with a new album, that it really hits over here in the States, because she definitely deserves it with how good the material on this is. So those are the EPs. Those are all good ass EPs that, again, links down below. From their albums, quite a few to shout out. For one, the new Adrianne Lenker project, Songs. Adrianne Lenker of Big Thief, obviously. In Quarantine has come through with a series of acoustic cuts that are intimate, beautiful, stunning, mystifying. It is a very raw and gorgeous little singer-songwriter record. Loving the new Clipping album as well, Visions of Bodies Being Burned, another helping of their scary movie and Halloween spooky inspired industrial noise rap mix that essentially results in one of their most fine and solid track lists ever. Really bold, hard-hitting, catchy, and daring, as Clipping's music often is. Just incredible respect for them and what they do, especially off of this project. Gorillaz, Song Machine, Season 1. Amazing collaborations, crossovers, and production all over this one. Really feels like they bring back the prominence of 2D's vocals and that classic cartoony production we expect from the best Gorillaz releases. It's kind of like a new way forward, but also a back to basics sort of thing too. And I'm loving how compartmentalized a lot of the tracks are as well. Like each song just hits for the most part. So yeah, really good one. Then from there, Dorianelektra's My Agenda. Loving the concept, the narrative, the story, and also the wild-ass production on this one too. Also, Dorian's impeccable ability to take various types of cringe aesthetics and turn them into high concept art, while also delivering some of the wildest and most captivating songs and features I've heard in a while from artists like Rebecca Black and even the Village People. So really exciting and strange, interesting project this time around from Dorian. Loving what they continue to do. Idols, Ultra Mono. Is this the punk album of the year or one of the punk albums of the year? It's certainly heavy, hard-hitting, in your face, throttling, and just on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders production. Loving the just brick to the face political points the record is making all over the place, and yeah, incredibly catchy hooks too. It's one of their most savage yet also, I guess, loving releases yet. It's angry, but there is a supremely interesting message of kindness behind all of it too. Also, shout out to the new Meridian Brothers project, the new Cumbia Siglo record they have out, which is this really insane lo-fi and idiosyncratic, experimental and groovy cumbia project that is totally nutty, left field, and off its rocker. I can't get enough of its unique oddities. The new Sevdaliza record, Shabrang, is one of the most creative, subtle, and pure, I think, expressions of art pop that I've heard in 2020. Quite beautiful as well. Loving the new Flaming Lips project too. I think it's one of their best in a long time. American Head. One of the most personal stories and narratives on any Flaming Lips album ever. Conway, his new record, Griselda Records, has been having a very prolific 2020, and out of all the projects that have been dropped, I think his new one has risen above to be the best. The bangers on here are fantastic, the production is consistently great, the features are impressive, and I'm loving the really personal angle and storytelling of some of the songs on the back end. It's definitely one of the most revealing records in the Griselda catalog, and I think puts Conway on another level lyrically too. And then finalizing things with the new Matmos project, which is a 3-hour batch of songs that includes dozens and dozens and dozens of collaborators across the entirety of the project. But God, if it's not some of their best material so far, it really truly is, despite maybe the initial bits of the first disc being a little rough. Yeah, The Consuming Flame Open Exercises in Group Form is the title of it, and if you're looking for a sonic adventure, which is parsed out pretty nicely with each disc, that I think each has their own personality to it. You know, there's no real need, I think, to hear all of it at once. You can kind of take it in chunks and still find it to be very enjoyable. I mean, it's some of the most experimental, out there, and exciting, thrilling, and beautifully textured and interestingly textured and conceptualized electronic music that I've heard this year, without a doubt. And before we get to list week next month, those are all of the projects I'd like to point in your direction right now. Again, links down below, and check out the music, check out the reviews if you have a chance to. And yeah, that's it. You're the best. Love you. Anthony Fantano. Transition. Have you given these albums a listen? Did you love them? Did you hate them? What would you rate them? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, great albums forever.